I would like to show you now the two basic block chord styles that are available to you on any given songs. There's many varieties of these styles, but let me just show you the basic two. And the basic two are the big block chord style made popular by Red Garland, basically, and many others after him, of course. And that's consists of putting your hands 2 octaves apart and then providing a downbeat of some sort. So that's the whole thing. It's kind of a 3-part deal. But to get this big sound, you have to voice your hands 2 octaves apart. In other words, your left hand is probably in the octave right around middle C, a little below middle C, and your right hand is in the 2nd octave above middle C. Not always, but that's the basic parameters of it. And then from time to time, you have to establish a low root, such as playing the chord like this. I'm playing a low 10th, where I play the root, if I'm playing the C chord, the root, the 5th, and then the 3rd. Or better yet, maybe a root 5th there and a whole chord there. If I was playing C6 to establish the feeling like that. See that by establishing that low bell-like sound, you're kind of setting the table for the big block chord style up here. Okay, so a three-part deal. But let me show you the voicing of that basic voicing of the block chord style. And we'll just play up an octave and get the idea. If it works in one note, it'll work anywhere else. So my left hand is voicing in fourths. It's a good idea to put your left hand in 2nd inversion. Okay, not a root position. That's going to sound a little bit old-fashioned, a little square. So get your hand in 2nd, or I mean in 1st inversion, or 2nd is okay. I like 2nd, like 1st, because you can voice in fourths. In other words, I can play the 3rd of the chord, the 6th, and the 9th of the chord. And then in the right hand, of course, I play the melody with an octave in between, and I slide off the 5th in the middle. Okay, to get that click kind of sound. Okay. But if you want to put in the 5th in the left hand, that's fine. So there you have the root there, C chord, of course. You have the root there, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 9th. And you're sliding off the flat 5th to give that little impetus. Now you combine that with that, and you suddenly have a big sound. See that? And use your pedal, of course. When you go down to hit a low note, hold it with your sustain pedal, so that otherwise you'll go, and the sound will go away before you hit the chord. Okay, so let me just take it chord by chord now. If I'm playing up the C scale, melodies are made out of scales, so you know, let's just play a C scale, because that'll represent any kind of melody at all. If I'm playing C, then I want to match it with some sort of chord that in my left hand that'll work. If I'm playing D, I'll probably match it with the G7th chord, and notice I can just move my left hand up a half step, and I'm still voiced in fourths. I have the 7th, 3rd, and the 6th of the G chord. My right hand, of course, I'm playing the 5th, and if I want to, I can play the G. So you see that? Here, I'm playing E, the 3rd, and back to the C chord. There I'm playing G7th again, same idea. Back to C, back to G7th, G7th, C. So on the left hand, there's only 2 positions, aren't there? The C chord and the G7th chord. Now, if you want a little variety, then just go up a half step from that and then back down. See that on F, instead of going to G7th, I just went up a half step. That gives a little variety. Okay, now you can do that on any scale at all, of course. Okay, and it doesn't matter what key you're in, but that's the basic voicing for the big block chord style. The second kind of block chord style is the what's known as the shearing style, or the locked hand style, where your hands are locked together. And the elements of this particular style is you play the left hand note, you play the melody in the left hand and the right hand. Under the right hand you put in the chord, whatever the chord is. Your left hand you make that melody note stand out. Let's play Londonderry Air. You see, I'm making that note stand out because that's a melody. Now that doesn't stand alone. It's like the other big block chord style. You can't just play that without the bottom part. If you're playing with a bass, if you're playing in a combo, of course you can, because the bass guy will take care of that part. He'll have a walking bass, and you can and it'll sound fine, but not solo piano. So you got to provide that lower part. The same thing is true with the locked hand style. It doesn't stand alone. You've got to use some other things like this. So in both the block chord styles, you have to put in other elements. In other words, they don't stand alone, but when you use the block chord styles plus the other things like the low bell sound and the establishment of a root and setting the table and so forth, then you have a complete style. So hope that helps, and thanks for being with me. Bye-bye for now.